Welcome to Stories Behind the Objects, where we explore the history behind a museum of the Rockies artifacts in 5 minutes or less. Every June marks the anniversary of the Battle of the Greasy Grass, also commonly known as the Battle of the Little Bighorn or Custer's Last Stand. And in this video, we'll take a look at this set of photographs taken at the 50th anniversary event by photographer and historian Elsa Spear Byron. First, some very brief background about the battle. On June 25th and 26th, 1876, the Battle of the Greasy Grass was fought between the 7th Cavalry Regiment of the U.S. Army and the combined forces of the Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes. The fight was a resounding victory for the tribes as they defeated the Army's forces. This battle was the most significant in the Great Sioux War of 1876. This war was partially caused by the U.S. government's desire to control Haisapa, or the Black Hills of South Dakota. Haisapa is considered sacred land. Under the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868, it was supposed to remain free from white settlement forever. When gold was discovered in the area, white settlers and gold miners began to flood in, and the U.S. government went back on the treaty. Haisapa continues to be contested land today. The photo you see here shows surviving Northern Cheyenne veterans of the Battle of the Greasy Grass. The photo was taken in 1926 on the 50th anniversary of the battle. That year, a major commemorative event was held at the battlefield, which is now known as Little Bighorn Battlefield National Monument. Over 50,000 people came to the event in southeastern Montana. One of the spectators was Wyoming photographer and historian Elsa Spear Byron. She took multiple photos of the event, including candid and posed shots of veterans from both sides of the fight and pictures of the ceremonies that occurred. During the Battle of the Greasy Grass, the U.S. Army also had Native American allies. Members of the Crow and Arikara tribes worked with the U.S. Army as scouts. Elsa took photographs of some of those surviving scouts who attended the 50th anniversary event, including the image you see here. This photograph is of White Man Runs Him. He had enlisted in the Army in April of 1876 and was transferred into Custer's 7th U.S. Cavalry just 4 days before the battle. According to his own account, he did not actually fight in the battle, but was ordered back to the pack train after scouting. The commemoration included a battle reenactment, a military plane flyover, memorial services, and a ceremonial burying of the hatchet, which you see Elsa's photograph of here. In this ceremony, a hatchet and other objects were buried with the remains of an unknown soldier that had been found the year previous. The men in the photograph are General E.S. Godfrey on the right and Chief White Bull on the left. Both men were survivors of the original battle. In another ceremony, Chief White Bull and General Godfrey met each other at Last Stand Hill, where they shook hands and exchanged gifts. Chief White Bull gave General Godfrey a blanket, and Godfrey gave White Bull an American flag. While this shared commemoration obviously did not erase or set right the long, complex history of treaty violations, aggression, and acts of genocide against tribes by the U.S. government, it was an opportunity for each side to honor their respective sacrifices on the battlefield.